All right, good morning. I want to talk today. It's been a minute, so I've been working out. This is my workout shirt, one of my workout shirts. But lost about 8 pounds. It's not a lot of weight. I'm scared I might put it back on. But I'm talking today about this Shuri comic that they have. The first issue that came out, the sister of Black Panther, and is written by a science fiction writer from Ohio and Africa. I believe I'm going to say Nigeria, but I'm not sure if she's from her parents are from Nigeria. But Indy Okafor is writing Shuri's comic book, and it just came out, I believe, last week. Might have been the week before, but I posted like a picture on my page, my Facebook page and Instagram when I first got it. You know, I was excited, and mind you, I didn't get a lot, chances to read. So the comic book sat on my kitchen table for like a week before I was able to crack it open, and I just cracked it open like last week, and I opened it up. And I was like, whoa, wait a minute. I was like, did I get the right comic book? Because I know they do a lot of variant covers. So I was like, well, maybe they did a whole, interior. Maybe there's a different type of interior comic book. And I was like, damn, I picked up the one that's trying to be different interior. So I went to celebrate Comic Fest this past weekend. Shout out to Lauderdale Comics in near the airport, Fort Lauderdale Airport. Yo, they had a big thing and a big celebration for Comic Fest, and they were giving out comic books, and they had local authors, local creators. Actually, I think I was the only one with a comic book, right? And I was also selling my novels, and people was coming through, and a couple of people, little daughters, they wanted Shuri. I was like, yo, Shuri's over there. And they pulled it back, and they was like, whoa, what is this? And I opened it up, and I looked at it, I was like, yo, what do you think? And my man, Keith Wade, he's the comic book trivia dude. He's one of them dudes that's like, broke down Black Panther. He breaks down, all of them. He battle you on everybody, He knows Marvel, he knows DC, so he reads. He was like, I'm not even buying it. He said, I'm not even going to buy it. He said, I don't want to reward them for some probably subpar, but let me just say, I'll say classic. That's a better way to say the style, not to insult the artist. Throwback style. It was an old style, a style that was used back in the 80s and earlier 70s. To me, that's what it looks like. I'm no illustrator. All I'm saying to people that are illustrators, or people, illustrators, it's just a very different style, reminiscent of a style that was used in the 80s. Before digital coloring, before Photoshop. It feels like that. It might have been done with Photoshop now, but it felt like, that type of comic. And so it is different from all the other Marvel comics that you'll see now. It's different from all of the other Black Panther comics. Black Panther and the Crew, Rise of the Black Panther, Wakanda, what is it? World of Wakanda, and the one Coates is writing himself, Black Panther. So it's different from all of those. So I don't know. I'll say this. I saw readers not respond favorably. All right? And to me, that's a concern. Most of them were black readers that were concerned. And I'm concerned, so me and them. The reason why I'm concerned is, one, I want these books to succeed. I always talk about, All these books that's coming out. I friend a dude who's got the Killmonger comic book coming out. Rodney Barnes is my man. It was like my favorite comic book writer. And maybe I'm naive, maybe he's new, and maybe I'm new and I don't know other people, but right now that's who it is. You know, my man, Evan, who did Rise of the Black Panther. I like that. The sister that did Black Panther and the Crew, probably my first one. I was really feeling like that. And then, you know, you have David Walker, who does Luke Cage. He's got Bitter Rot, right, coming out, and I'm getting that, you know. And then there's been, you know, others that have written stuff. So I'm not going to get Eric Alexander, Tony Perrier. So there's been some other black writers, but I'm just saying, you know, these guys are writing Falcon, they're writing Black Panther, and then, you know, Luke Cage, and they, you know, are matching what we see on the film, matching what we see on TV on Netflix, and it's really cool. So I'm waiting for like the rush to be the thirst from the rush. You know, with Black Panther, there was a rush, and those people are thirsty for more stuff. Luke Cage broke the internet, right? That's a rush. So there's going to be a thirst that comes from that of more stuff like that. And I have always been critical, and people take issue with me by saying, yo, there needs to be a black section, there needs to be a black comic book. How about this? A black comic book spotlight, okay? A spotlight on black comics. That's not bad. You're not saying, yo, they're going to be here permanently. It don't have to be during Black History Month. That's really crazy. But I go to comic book stores all the time, and I see spotlights on Marvel, or if like GLBT spotlight, they pulled out all of the GLBT character comics, and I even had to recommend a couple of them because they missed a couple for the community. I'm saying do that. And even if you have it up for the whole year, it's going to help those comic books sell, because you have a #1 black character comic movie. And sure, if Infinity Wars was got a lot of people, and it was connected to the Infinity Wars, and it would have got a lot of people, but would it have gotten that many people? And also, even if it would have gotten, say, it's at 1.3 million. Say it was going to get 1 million, right? Excuse me, billion. Say it was going to get 1 billion, right? The 0.3, that's a new group of customers. There's black people that hit me up that don't know how to find their own comic book store, but they will find it, and they will go there and buy it and buy stuff. So we may not have bought comics before, but a sale is a sale. Not only that, if you've got writers that's writing this stuff, Falcon died because he couldn't get 5,000 sales or 10,000 sales. Those are sales markers for comics that, you know, they use to break even or to decide whether they're going to continue the run of the comic. 5,000, 10,000? You could do that in one city if people knew about it, you know. And I just think, you know, I've always been critical of the marketing of it. But now you bring in this interior pages, I'm like, oh my God, you know, you're killing us. You know, the hurdle that you're asking them to jump. First of all, black or white or Latino, any illustrator, want to be honest, they'll tell you, when you got a comic book at a Comic Con for an independent artist, the first thing a new patron does after they look at the title and you give them the pitch, they don't read the story. They look at the illustrations. They look at the quality of illustrations. They may not know good quality from bad quality, but they want to know if they can read it. They want to know if it looks good to them. And that's what's going to happen with Shuri. I'm predicting it, but I just want them to do a better job. I do predict that, you know, if I'm talking about it, it's already getting backlash. But what I'm thinking is it may get a little bit more people talking about it. It may not happen on the first issue. It may happen on the second issue. If not, maybe people just don't know how to complain, because I don't know how many people there are that weren't in the comics, that came in the comics through X-Men or the Avengers movies and are sophisticated enough to complain or critique or to comment on a large scale, because my scale is real small. Only my 5 friends and 2 family members watch this. But again, I think it's going to be an issue. I think when these people look at it, they're going to recognize there's a difference between how Black Panther's interior looks, how Captain America's interior looks, how X-Men, all of these other Marvel titles look compared to Shuri's and Indy Okafor's comic book. So I don't know. I don't think it's too late to be able to do anything about it. I just say let's footnote it. Let's footnote it. You know, they want to talk about, we don't support our comics. You got to hold this. This is a factor. This is a factor, because if I was to come out a comic book and I came back and say, my comic book didn't sell, people would be like, dude, you got to get better artwork. This is plain and simple. You got to get better illustrated. They would have said that, plain and simple. Plain and simple. I can have the best story, but people would have said, it's a comic book, you got to get better illustrated. You got to do that. And, or you just know the quality of the illustrator you have and take that in consideration. You promote around it. You ain't charging $8, you're charging $4. I don't know. I can't tell you. All I know is illustrations is a factor. And depending on how this does, I know the character is loved. I know Killmonger should slam. Okay? These are the 2. There's a bunch of characters. If M'Baku came out with a comic book, people would get it. But with Shuri, oh man, people want it for their daughters. They want it. I mean, who else do we have? Storm. I want Misty Knight to get a comic book, but I damn sure don't want it the way they drew her in Rise of the Black Panther. Damn, that'd look like a man on Rise of the Black Panther. I mean, Black Panther and the Crew. Excuse me. Black Panther and the Crew. So I wouldn't want her, and she was horrible throughout that whole comic book. But it's still one of my favorite ones, but I'm into comics, so I'm going to get it, and I'm not even deep in the comics. But anyway, that's my thing. I say a lot about the comic books because I want them to succeed. I want these black writers, because I'm a black writer, I want us to succeed. I want to put pressure on the industry, because they're the ones that hire us. They're the ones that market us. And they're also the ones that pull us. So, the comic book stores, they don't seem like they care at all. They just like, whatever y'all put in the catalog, I'm going to put on my shelves. So a few comic book stores do some extra stuff, but most of the comic book stores, they're just like, Amazon is going to open up these stores. Many of these comic book stores could be owned by the same company. They could all be like Diamond Comics, because they don't do too much different stuff. Shout out to the ones that do. And maybe I'll talk about some of the hot comic book stores that I've been to. Guys, I tell the owners when I come there, I'll be like, y'all are extra friendly. You understand? I like y'all. Your store is hot. I went to one store in Ferguson, I believe, Missouri. But it's a chain of them. Can't remember the name. I have the card. But they had a drawing tablet in there. And the dude just, he liked what I was talking about. He drew me a character right there, and I still got it at my house. But yeah, I like that. And some of the comic book stores have novels or old science fiction. I went to a comic book store, which was / used bookstore. That was brilliant. Oh my God. Amazing. But we'll talk later about that. All right. Anyway, talk to you later. Peace. Get out and vote Tuesday.